Okay. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the aftermarket analysis session as usual. This is the aftermarket analysis session. Here, after the closing of Nifty, the Indian markets Nifty and Bank Nifty, we look at where the buyer's interest was, where the seller's interest was, where, how, and what happened. And in this live session, we try to read the aftermarket footprint thoroughly. If you are new and want to learn order flow, and how to use GoCharting, you can join this live session every day at 5 p.m. The link to this live session is uploaded in the GoCharting Telegram community and Discord community before 5 p.m. And thirdly, if you are using GoCharting at that time, you will also receive a notification on the right side to click here. As soon as you click, the link is uploaded here daily as well. Okay. In any case, if you are unable to join the live session, we also upload the recording of this live session on the GoCharting YouTube channel. You will find the link to all the GoCharting YouTube channels in the description. If you want to watch in Hindi, join the Hindi channel. If you want to watch in English, simply join the main GoCharting channel. You can join different GoCharting YouTube channels to watch in different languages. Currently, there is a 30% off on the GoCharting yearly subscription, which is a holy offer. For any annual subscription you take, GoCharting is offering a 30% discount. This offer is valid until the 7th. After the 7th, the prices will return to normal. So if you like the GoCharting platform and use it, and want to switch to a yearly subscription, you need to switch before the 7th. For the discount, let's now look at Nifty's cash today, where the volume was in Nifty, where the buyers were, where the sellers were, and all these things to understand how to read the footprint properly. We try to do that. But before that, let's look at the volume profile to see what level we have from yesterday's sessions. S1 was the zone that was the resistance zone yesterday, and we simply marked it. On the upside, if it breaks above, this was the volume profile level from the past few sessions. Below this, it was the volume profile from the previous session. We simply mark the nodes of the session's volume profiles. The biggest node from the node this is the biggest node. In this way, we only mark the nodes of the volume profile. If we look at this level and zoom out a bit, here was the volume node that we marked. Now, based on these notes, let's see what confirmations we got today. Okay, on the footprint, where was the interest of buyers? Where was the interest of sellers? What did we observe in Nifty? Here, I am using a tick size of 180, and for Bank Nifty, if you are using it, keep it above 400 because Nifty runs around 20,000. And Bank Nifty around 50 to 55, so the tick size will also be double. This is the weak zone from yesterday, above those levels. Before reading the footprint well, we should know what delta is. Okay, delta is simply the difference between buyers and sellers. For example, this is the first candle. What is the delta value of this first candle? Around 99,000, nearly 1 lakh. The topmost value is around 1 lakh in green, and there is no negative sign in front of this value. That means it is a positive delta, and positive delta always denotes buyers. So this means the positive delta value is 99,000, near 1 lakh. So inside this candle, there are 1 lakh more buyers compared to sellers. How did the delta decrease? Suppose there are 1 lakh sellers, and there are 2 lakh buyers, then what is the delta value? 1 lakh, simple. This is the delta of this candle, 1 lakh more buyers. Secondly, if we look at this candle with a negative delta, that means inside this candle, there are around 61,000 more sellers compared to the box. It's in the red box, with a negative sign above. So that means negative delta. Negative delta always denotes sellers. Okay, so one basic thing is emerging according to delta. What is emerging is that we tick any candle, like this candle, this candle, this candle. If we just look at the delta of that candle, then the essence of each candle is revealed to us. What essence is revealed is who is powerful within that candle. For example, we took the first candle, looked at the delta, and found that the positive buyer is more powerful. Looked at the next candle. Checked the delta, the buyer of this candle is powerful. Again, the buyer is powerful. And looked at this candle with a negative delta. Sellers are powerful. Each candle is showing who is more powerful here. So now you might be seeing two types of deltas. Some candles have both quite positive and negative aspects. Some candles have around 100,000, again around 100,000, again around 30,000, and then there are just 10,000 to 15,000. Okay. Again 11,000, 17,000, 1,000. Just 15,000, 8,000. So it means there are some candles whose delta is very high, and some candles whose delta is very low, whether positive or negative. What is the difference between these two? The difference between these two means that the candles with heavy delta have experienced significant buying or selling, while the candles with a very low delta have experienced very little buying or selling. So, who has the potential to move the market? The candles with a large delta have the potential to move the market. And who has the potential not to move the market? The neutral candle, which doesn't have specific buying or selling, is this type of candle. And if there's a big delta, the benefit is greater in following those candles with a large delta, because those are the candles that actually have the potential to move the market. So in Nifty, what we will do is pick and read only those candles with a delta above 25 or 30. For example, this candle has 11,000 more buyers, but the number of additional buyers is very small. It's a neutral thing that happens in Nifty, because from 9:15 to 3:30, buying and selling will occur. So this is the candle where buying has happened, but the amount of additional buying is very small. What we will do is, again, we will pick only those candles whose delta is above 25 to 30. Like this candle, the first candle, had a very large buying. Always be cautious with the first candle. Trade carefully because there is a lot of buying and selling in the first candle, and the price does not always follow in that direction. But what happened here was a very large buying, around 100,000 positive delta. So, the delta indicated that there are 100,000 more buyers. Which side are the buyers on? The right side. Which side are the sellers on? The left side. So, what is more in this candle? Buyers. So, what is the benefit? Only read the buyer's side because that is more powerful. And this is the buyer's side. Okay, so what will we do now? Where has the most buying happened above this zone? Where has the most buying happened? Here. First, what did we see? We saw the delta. The buyers are powerful. We went to the buyer's side, looked at those particular points where the most buying happened. Where has the most buying happened? Here at 122.77, which means add 3 zeros. Okay, so what did we find in the first candle? We found this buying zone. In the next candle. Again, if we look at the buying side, multiple buying attempts happened around here. If we look at the next candle, there was good buying here too, and this is from the buying zone. But where did the biggest buying happen? 122. This is the buying zone. Now, the buying started from here, came here, continued with buying, and there was no buying exception seen anywhere. Let's see what happened on the pullback. It came on a good pullback, but there was no interest from any sellers anywhere. That we could say the trend has changed. A trend change means if there is large buying and then large selling happens, we can say the trend has changed. But nowhere was there a negative delta around 30. It came on a good pullback, held. But what happened here was we saw a selling attempt, a good selling attempt, around 60K delta. And which is the selling zone? The same where the buying zone was. The selling zone showed negative delta. This candle had good selling. How much? 48K selling. 45K selling happened. Good selling happened. In the next candle too, there was good selling. And the selling zone was 49K selling. So it means where the buying zones were. They tried to break those buying zones here. Generally, when any buying or selling zone holds for 15 to 20 minutes. These things are rarely seen, but here a selling attempt happened. A good one. The support was not broken well, or after breaking, as such a good pullback happened, but that thing was missing here. Again, let's wait for some candles for confirmation. Look here. Again, the maximum data is giving a pretty good confirmation here. Buying happened at 30. And this candle broke all the selling zones. So it means the selling that happened here, right. There was one attempt by the sellers, but all that selling was absorbed by the limit buyers, meaning the selling was absorbed here, and it was the limit buyers who absorbed it. Let's look ahead. Again 20, 20, 20. Buyers are entering steadily after the selling absorption. Again the same zone held well, where there were previous pullbacks. Right at the 9, 40, 45, 50 candle. The pullback happened at the same place. There was just this one selling attempt, which got absorbed. If you read about selling absorption, that too is a bullish sign. Okay, wherever you see selling absorption, understand that the market is bullish. In the beginning, there was significant buying showing a good bullish gain, and selling absorption was seen, which also gave a bullish confirmation. Again, the same zones are holding. Another buying attempt occurred. Again, a buying attempt happened around the 50 mark. Okay. Again, a buying attempt happened, meaning what happened here? The initial 45 candles showed everything bullish. There was a good pullback. But one selling attempt happened, which was also absorbed. One police found something. The second police also found something. There was a good pullback, and an uptrend occurred. This uptrend was a solid pattern, because, as each high was being formed, significant buyers were entering. After that, nothing much happened in Nifty today. Buyers entered, and there was a substantial uptrend. Now look at this. There were 3 candles, where, again, just like the first, 2 candles, back-to-back buying was observed. In the first candle, where was the most buying? Buying at 52. In the next candle, where was the most buying? Buying at 94. In the following candle, where was the most buying? So basically, this is the zone where the most buying occurred. In simple terms, in 3 candles, there was equal buying at 90, with 1 lack 90 in buying zones. Look, the most buying happened at 52, and at 96, if you mark 59. There was a significant pullback here, and you could see slight sideways movement. So if we look at today's Nifty, initially there was aggressive buying, followed by a significant selling attempt which was absorbed. And then it held quite well right there. Now, on the side, the market saw an uptrend, with quite significant buying happening here, not here. And then, with continued buying, Nifty remained in an uptrend. Now let's look at Bank Nifty to see what we observed in Bank Nifty today. In Bank Nifty, the first significant volume came at the 9:35 a.m. candle, and this was the selling zone, where a negative delta was observed. There was substantial selling of 19K here, but the issue was that the next candle broke that selling zone, and after that, there was significant buying in this candle, with buying of 10K, quite a good amount of buying. With that buying, it broke here. Look, there was selling of 17K, and then again, buying of 12K came in, and it went up from there. After that, no solid volume came in. The first and last candles had selling volume, but the next candle broke it. However, whenever it tapped this selling zone, significant buyers were entering. Look, there was buying of 11K, okay, and there was buying of 14K. This buying of 14K did not break down anywhere on the downside. Buyers entered again, and as soon as this zone was properly broken, meaning it was broken well, there was a solid uptrend here, and in this solid pattern, what was observed was buying of 9K, buying of 11K, buying of 10K, and again, not as solid buying with 10K as it was with 20, 25, 30 like it was in Nifty at 11 o'clock. But yes, whatever volume came. After breaking the selling zone, it was all on the buying side, and there was a slight observation. This was today's analysis of Nifty and Bank Nifty. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.